Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Last year, we were treated to a championship here at GPVWC, the likes of which we have rarely seen in the sim racing world. 6 drivers in with a chance of the title by the final round. 3 teams with a chance for the team's title by the final round. Jesper Torborg came out on top. Smile Power Racing came out on top. That was World Sports Series 2014. Here in 2015, though, the face of the championship is similar in some respects, not so similar in others. We have a change of qualifying format. The team's champions are gone. A new team will be the champion again this year. The champion has returned, albeit with a different name. But there's one thing that hasn't changed, and it's me in the box. Hello, my name is James Kirk, and joining me for this season, I'm sure that everyone at home will be giving him a welcome round of applause for coming back into the box. It's my good old friend, Mr. Lewis McGlade. How are you, sir?
Yeah, hi. I am great. It is great to be back on this championship. I obviously commentated on this 2013. I missed out on the 2014 season, and what a shame that was, because a fantastic season it was. I watched it from start to finish. Obviously, helping with running a team in it, and it was an incredible season to watch with how competitive it was. As you say, 6 drivers. Those 6 drivers not only went down to the final round, but they were all in contention in the final race. It was incredibly close. A truly fantastic championship. And this season, we've got so many drivers that are going to be fighting for those front places. And there's so many fun stats and statistics that me and James went through over the last couple of days from last season. And it's going to be an incredible season. I've already got this vibe that this is going to be one of those ones that we remember, and that's a great feeling and something great to watch as we're about to go into the first qualifying of the 2015 season.
Right, it's qualifying. This is the main thing that has changed for this year. The only thing which has changed for this year, actually. Since its inception, we should say, World Sports Series has been a Super Pole type quali. From 2012 right through to 2014. It's been 1 lap, and that's your lot. For this year, we're changing it up, and it's going to be like the career ladder, a 15-minute session with an unlimited amount of laps for each driver. Now, this changes things quite a lot because we had some really spectacular Super Pole efforts last year, the likes of Fran Lopez, I think, and Jesper Nielsen, who didn't win a race last year, and actually we should address that as well. Is Jesper Nielsen now, not Jesper Torborg, same person, different name. Lewis still calls him JT.
Do
that all the way. Yeah, Nielsen, he didn't win a single race last year, but he got a pole position, and it was actually here in... Oh no, was it... Where was it? Was it here in Spain?
It was here in Spain. He was on
there
the
we are.
race.
So he got it here in Spain. Fran Lopez, who didn't win... Oh no, he did win a couple of races, didn't he? He got a pole position in Germany, which was unexpected as well. And so, gone are sort of what if someone messes up their lap? What if someone absolutely nails a lap? The fastest guy on the day is absolutely going to get pole position unless they do have a nightmare over 5 laps or so. In terms of race length, we're looking at 14 laps for each race. And as always, we have the famous GPVWC reverse grid of doom, as it's sometimes known. 15 to 20 cars in the reverse grid for race 2. And of course, we've got success ballast. One of the greatest things about race 1, round 1 of the season, is there is no success ballast at all. We get to see the true capability of everyone in the field around the Circuit de Catalunya. But we get 45 to 90 kilograms of weight penalty, going down by 9 each time to dish out for race 2. And that always seems to throw up different complications in the second race of the evening, and indeed the first races post round 1. So we've got people lining up here. We've got Agustin Canapino coming out on the track for Vogel Racing, followed by Matthew Chervin, and second place in the championship this last year, David Judd, now driving for THR. Welcome to THR and to the WSS, by the way. It's going to be exciting to see where everyone comes out. We have Bristow Capik joining the field. He's the Touring Pro Series Virtual Carrera Cup Championship, basically their equivalent to the WSS. And he is a mightily fast driver. He topped the open practice times today, which was, on your first efforts, considered to be absolutely incredible. We've got the likes of Canapino, a race winner up there. We've got Siggy up there. We've got McGregor, who only featured in Spain last time. He's up there as well. We've got some new guys as well. Martin Lapassa for Drake Racing. Didn't really have a good showing in Australia in Formula Challenge for the Welsh outfit, but he's looking mightily fast up there in a P3 for Craig. And so, as we're watching Canapino now going round turn 8 and up to Campasa, turn 9 for the first time, have you got any predictions for who is on pole today, Lewis?
You see, I've obviously been keeping in touch with this over the build-up of this pre-season, and keeping an eye on who's fast and who's not, and who's fighting where. And it seems like Siggy is super fast, and with this kind of qualifying format, I get a feeling that Siggy's probably going to be on the first pole position of the season. Obviously, this is the only pole position, or the only qualifying session of the season, where no one is going to have success ballast. And the thing that I'd like to point out very quickly is something that I point out to you, is that Siggy has never qualified with any success ballast. That will obviously come in dependent on where he finishes in this round over the season, but this is the only time we're going to qualify with no one with any weight in the car, so that's an incredibly impressive thing. David Young didn't start his lap, he actually came straight into the pit lane afterwards. Interesting, don't know why.
Weird. So going with Canapino now through turn 1 and turn 2. Renault, this is the first time we're going around Catalunya on this track, and a long turn 3, of course. Turn 3 hasn't been in the news this year for always. Canapino goes wide, exceeding track limits there. But yeah, turn 3 in the news for Alonso this year. Not necessarily how difficult it is, but trust us, it is a difficult corner. It's turn 4 now at Rapoil. Weird names around here. It's either car manufacturers or weird names, as Canapino traversing it nicely up into Seat now, or down into Seat, I should say. Tricky left-hander. As you now get on the throttle once again into a lovely section, turn 7 and turn 8. Got to be heavy on the brakes here, try and straddle the curb as much as possible, get on the accelerator as quick as possible, and that is a very nice line through there from Canapino, now heading up into Campasa. Lovely modulation of the throttle there, going nice and wide. You can definitely attack the curbs there on the outside, and much better in the flat sixes here than in the Formula Challenge cars. You'll see that down into La Caixa now. Ooh, and a bit of a slide there from Canapino. He did seem to be struggling to me on his outlap, actually. He looked very all over the place, which is very unlike Augustin, to be fair, as we now head around turn 12. Next up, we've got Europe car, and this is a very tricky section. Often go wide at this corner, and you can often go deep into the hairpin of turn 14, the chicane of turn 14 and turn 15. Canapino keeps it within track limits, though. Not exactly going to be the fastest time on the track, though, I presume, as he comes across the line. He's coming up ever so fast. Tomu Cabrera just ahead, a little bit too far ahead. 1:45.7, not a great time, and almost opposed by Matthew Churgwin immediately.
No, but you see, the thing is with those kind of times, and let's be honest, let's not forget with Canapino, he was he was very close to winning a race here last season, whilst at Enterprise.
Yes,
he did win the race. He did have it taken away from him, if I recall correctly. But he's very quick at this track. The thing is, that's illegal.
He's gone wide again.
The thing is with this track at the moment is that with the qualifying session as it is, you don't have to get it in your first lap. You've got plenty of time in the session. You can use the first lap to get up to temperature and stuff like that. As Bart de Vos goes to the pole position on a 1:45.763. Obviously, we are expecting that to change an awful lot, but him for RTS at the moment.
Lars Brugman's just gone top on a 1:45.2, just opposed again by Ross McGregor and THR on a 1:45.0. But yeah, as you say, it's going to change a lot. And actually, welcome to CM Tech Racing. While we're at it, the Cookie Monster Tech Racing outfit, as they're fully known. That's why we call them CM Tech.
Sandeep Chodas backwards at turn 3.
Oh yeah, that's not too
good. For YTF1.
Yeah, it's not too good for Choda on his debut. Interesting little predicament we have here with the Adonis car. Oh dear.
It's a shame. You'll just have to bring that one back.
Yeah, but that, I guess in a sense that is exactly what the pole position session which we have here, qualifying pole position session, what am I on about? That's the advantages of the qualifying session as it is now. You can make a mistake like that and you can recompose yourself, bring yourself back into the pits, get some more fuel on board, go out and do some more laps. As Augustin Canapino has put our fears to bed. He's just put in a 1:44.8, but that is still a good 4/10 off the fastest time we have seen in the 2 weeks of practice.
Yeah, as I say, we've got 9 minutes left of this session. We're still in the very early stages of it. People only really completing a couple of laps here. So you're going to see that time absolutely crumble. We're on board with Wipke Hoekstra. Now, this is someone who I was keeping an eye on through all of practice. I only really watched him in open wheelers, so I was kind of interested to see some of these drivers that have come over from the open wheel side of things as Siggy goes to second. Just keeping an eye on Woepke, and he's actually looking pretty damn fast. I don't know if he's got the time in him to go to pole or to go to provisional pole position at the moment, as he's catching some big slides through turn 3. But he is looking pretty damn quick. He's up on the pole at the moment by 0.081 of a second. He is looking exceptionally fast out there. So this is a guy that you've really got to keep your eye on throughout the season, is Woepke Hoekstra.
And he is a race winner in World Sports Series. Let's just forget, in 2013.
Wow, I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, he was with Pulse Racing, Portuguese outfit, and this was before the flat sixes, remember. This was with the old Porsche GT3 mod that was used for 2 years since the inception of World Sports Series itself. Yeah, Hoekstra's a fast driver, and I think it's been technical difficulties that have marred his career so far, in all honesty, but he is a fast driver, and that time which he's posting so far up on pole, what was it, in the first sector or so, I think it's to be expected, honestly. I would not be surprised to see him get another race win by the end of the season.
Oh, yes, the Nielsen Series champion, straight to pole position at the moment, 144.850. Again, reckon people are going to go faster than that, but that is the series champion right there. Number 1 car, Ice Cold Racing, moved to Ice Cold Racing this season. Different livery for them, different team for Jesper, obviously, previously at Ice Cold, who have not entered the season. He's there. Monroe goes up into third, his teammate for this round, as Eric Strana is missing due to technical difficulties. John Monroe clearly stepping up in these cars. I don't think John's actually raced these cars before, clearly showing that no problem.
Definitely not in WSS, at least.
No.
But yeah, it's good to see. We'll be interested to see how Hoekstra's does. Interesting statistic. We're going to whack out our first statistic for the evening. In the field that we have currently, there are 10 race winners in World Sports Series alone. I just find that absolutely incredible.
Incredible,
if we had Strana in there as well, that'd be 11. And the thing about Strana as well is this season he has the opportunity to become the driver in World Sports Series history with the most pole positions, and that would eke out Oscar Hardwick. Strana's got 4. Hardwick is currently holding the record with 5. So plenty of exciting prospects for this season as well. But at the moment, the top 5 are Nielsen, Canapino, McGregor, and I think there's a really, really weird glitch going on, because it says La Paz is in 5th, but he's done a 2-minute 04.6.
Oh, that's a glitch on your side. It's done a 144.916 on my side.
Okay, there we go. So it's Nielsen, Canapino, McGregor, Monroe, La Paz are your top 5 so far. We have 6 minutes left of the session. Looking pretty good for the champion so far. Yeah,
this is the first time, and it was actually a statistic that you pointed out to me. This is the first time in WSS history that we've had a champion return to the series to retire and retain that title. Where was it Spoljaric in 2012? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Spoljaric in 2012 and Hardwick in 2013.
And obviously Jesper Tolborg in 2014 comes back as Nielsen, looking to retain that title, and clearly showing that he wants to start on the right foot. He really wasn't actually confident prior to this. Talking to me, but that's standard Jesper. Here we are looking at the P2 man of the championship last season, the runner-up, David Young, coming out of the final corner. I don't think this will be a good time based on where we currently are, but you never know, I might be reading into this wrong.
Coming across the line, it's a long run up to the line, isn't it?
It's a long run. I was wondering where the line was. Was it at the end or at the start of the? I couldn't remember. But there we go. It's at the end. Goes to 19th. I reckon he'll go a lot quicker than that, but a lot of traffic up ahead as the watermelon gets in his way. Whoa!
There's
some traffic there.
Well. Goodness me.
Some big traffic there.
Nice avoiding action from everyone involved. Do you reckon Nielsen is going to be like a transformation from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White? Because Gandalf the Grey was great, Gandalf the White was excellent, and the biggest thing about Nielsen's championship win last time was that he didn't take a race win. And in fact, he's only the second person in GPVWC's history across all series to actually do that. I know he's not confident of wins, as he isn't confident of the pole position here today. But do you think with this change in name, a change in team, perhaps with a team that can support him a lot better, you know, I think Strana's going to be a great teammate that'll push him all the way, as will Monroe today, they're in P4. Do you think he can actually go ahead and get his first World Sports Series win? Because he's yet to do it.
He is yet to do it. As I say, it was this track 12 months ago, when he was leading the race up until 3 corners to go, he had it taken away from him with a puncture given to him by Gaston Canapino.
As Weeks goes top.
As Jordan Weeks, 44.705. Now that's impressive. You know, that he's gone up to pole position. I know he was looking pretty quick in some of this last season. I can't remember. I think he was actually championship leader going into Monaco, was it?
I believe so, yeah. He's always looked quick, and he is another one of our race winners. You know, his pace is undoubted, but he just completely fell off at the end of the championship. I think it was a mixture of bans and not really wanting to take part in the championship anymore. And, you know, if you don't want to race, then, you know, you don't want to race. But
either way, impressive.
Can't argue with that.
He's jumped up to pole position by almost a tenth and a half. Interesting to see, though, if anyone can beat that time. We know people can. Now, there you go. Ross McGregor, 44.616. Straight up onto pole position. This is where times are starting to get faster. We're getting faster and faster as the session's closing down. Less laps to do, less time in the session, and people are going to be pushing. Risto Capet coming through the final sector. I don't think this is on an actual lap. I think he's going to start one. As you alluded to, VCC champion over in TPS, this guy is damn fast. He was beating people like Tim Heinemann, but we won't go into that. But this guy, seriously, if you want to watch someone throw a car around, this is the guy you watch. He has got a few issues with this evening and where he's driving, as we were told prior to the event. A few distractions, as it were, but nevertheless, he is very, very fast in his car, so keep an eye on him across the rest of the season.
He is absolutely going to be there. And welcome to Walk Racing as well. Welcome to all our new teams. We'll be going in depth with many of the teams in warm-up, but it's nice to see Walk Racing coming into our own WSS Championship. Must be said, Walk Racing are the VCC Teams Champions as well, so a good pedigree heading into World War II for the first time. 2 minutes left. Ross McGregor is on provisional pole position with a 44.6. I remind you, the fastest time we saw in over both open practice and the free practice session held here this evening is a 1:44.4. There are still 2 tenths to find, and somebody's going to find at least one of them to be able to take it away from the Scot who scored 2 fourth positions in his one event last year. Looking very good for the THR outfit. The rest of the top 10 as they are is Weeks, Nielsen, Canapino, Siggy, Monroe, Lapassa, Brugman, Capit and Sidinovus. Rounding out the top 10, the triple 20. Welcome back to Martinez. He has been with WSS before. A driver who is undoubtedly fast, but his racecraft has left a little bit to be desired in sim racing times of old, but a P10 will be a nice start, a nice restart I should say, to his career. And then in the other points positions we have Brewster, Olsen, Tyen, Hoekstra and De Vries, who is well down the order in P15.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't confident coming into this evening as Risto Capet goes to 3rd position on 1:44.747. Very good. We said it was going to be quick. But yes, Sven De Vries is a little bit lower than he thought, but I was talking to Sven about this, and Sven's really not feeling confident about this event and about where he's going to be for it. I asked him, you know, are you going to take wins? And he was just like, absolutely not. But then again, I asked him that before, like, Super Cup and, well, you know, Australia, and he won the second race there, so you never know. He is currently half, I believe that's half a tenth. If not, I'm reading it very wrong. It's very blurry. But he's got a lot of traffic. There's so much traffic out there today. It's, I've noticed Lars has gotten into a bit of trouble with traffic. But nevertheless, it's very, very busy. I think this lap's been pretty much binned as he's got Wouter's car in front of him. Not happy yet. A bit of weaving. Yeah, he's a long way down now.
Looking here, I think a Dre car is going to be the last across the line here. Is it Lapassa, I wonder? Yes, it is. Who's behind Lapassa, though? Let's see. There's Richards. I think there's Mike Bell. Yep. And time has ticked over.
So I'm on my road to the line. Let's have a look at this one. See what time he does.
So I think Siggy is done. Monroe is done. So those guys are locked into position. Ross McGregor. Oh, hello. Who was that?
Monroe goes to 5th. Monroe goes to
5th. Great time from Monroe. McGregor still with pole position, though, but he is done. So McGregor, let's see, who's left out there? Weeks is out there. Capit's out there.
Capit's just about to come around to finish.
As well. Let's have a look at Capit then.
He's
Taps
quite.
the
He's
Nixon.
3/10 down.
Oh,
He's 3/10
dear.
down. I think he ran illegal there as well.
No, I think he was just in.
Just in, maybe.
Just in, but I think we're not going to be seeing an improvement
Keeping
from the Estonian.
I don't think so. But keep an eye on Cameron Brewster, the new driver at Walk Racing. Obviously had a good season last year, a few podiums. In fact, a podium at this track. He's one of the people who has done a time, I think it's a 44.6 that he's actually done. So, you know, he's a bit further down than maybe he expected. Running to the line, is he going to improve? Based on where he is, I don't think so.
Oh, he
goes
does,
to 11.
P8.
Oh, goes to P8.
That's a nice.
That's a fair improvement. That's a fair improvement. Incredible. He is 3/10 off of pole position in 8th. That is incredible.
Very
Time
close times
around the
here.
final sector.
Yep, Jarl Tyen. This is the next guy. So we've got Jarl Tyen. This is the first of the fast guys. He's always a little bit sliding.
Jesper's a little bit further along. Jeffrey Fournier in front.
Oh, yep, there we are. So let's have a look at Jesper. Can he take
pulled
pole
to the line.
position on his return? Oh, a little bit of a slide on the curb. You don't want to touch him, really, if I'm too honest, because you do use a little bit of time. He does get a slipstream from Fournier ahead, and he does improve, but he doesn't improve enough to go any further up. And oh, Jarl Tyen, what a lap that was. P5 for the Enterprise.
Oh,
driver.
Martin Lapassa!
Martin Lapassa.
Wow,
P3
welcome
on
to
debut.
WSS. Jeez, what
Well
a result.
done. We thought that Mr. Capit was going to be the top Estonian. He has been topped by his very good friend Martin there. But ultimately, the biggest congratulations have to go to Ross McGregor. Pole position on his full-time debut with THR. Jordan Weeks said he was on for pole. He apparently lost it somewhere. Nevertheless, he is P2. Lapassa P3 on debut. Capit P4 on debut. And our reigning champion, Jesper Nielsen, rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm sitting there going, Jesper Nielsen's in 5th. That's really, honestly, it's quite expected, to be honest. He never really showed, I say never really showed incredible pace. This is coming from me. But, you know, he's never showed amazing pace in comparison to the other front runners. However, he always has this mindset of, I'm not going to put the car at risk. I'm just going to bring it to the end of the race. And when he does that, that's why he won the championship. He didn't get involved in other people's incidents. He just kept out of trouble, kept to himself. And, you know, he became the champion. He knows what he's doing in this. Obviously, we've got some numbers
I
to
can
go
hear you
through.
flicking your pages
The paper.
there.
Yeah, we've got some numbers on this, which are for some interesting reading about JT's championship and the points he scored per race and his competitors. But you know, he just keeps out of trouble, and that's the most important thing. But that's an incredible result to see Ross McGregor on pole position on his return. I believe he did the WSS round here last season.
Yeah, he got 2/4.
And you know, he's come back. I know he's been getting better in these cars. He's been getting faster and faster. And to have come into this and scored his pole position, that's gonna be good. And I know he's good in the races as well, so he'll definitely be one to keep an eye on. If he gets a break, I reckon he'll run for it.
P5 to P10 in that session all had a 144.8.
Incredible.
That is how close the field was. And as you say, even Cameron Brewster down there in P10 with the slowest of the 144.8s was about 3/10 off of McGregor's time. That is incredibly close. To go past the top 10, we then have Brugman 11th, Sidhu Novus 12th, Olsen 13th, Hoekstra 14th, and yes, Fender Rees all the way down there in 15. It's incredible to see. I mean, we've got race winner Matt Richards, P17. We have Francic, another race winner down in P20. David Junt, second in the championship, P22.
His teammate got pole position as well.
And his teammate got pole position. It's really incredible to see how close. And Fran Lopez, I don't even believe qualified. I think he had some issues. So there's a lot of fast people mired down in the field there, but yeah, well done to Ross. It's going to be interesting to see how he does react in this first race. And of course, you've got the 15 to 20 reverse grid as well. If you want to get involved with the conversation today, then feel free to head on to Twitter and at KirkyLife, hashtag GPVWCWSS. That is a lot of letters, but we'd love to hear your thoughts on the qualifying, on the races, who you think is your driver of the day, so on, so on, so on. If you've got any questions for the drivers at the end of the event, we'd love to hear them all. So get tweeting or twitting or whatever you want to call it. And well, we're going to talk about some of the new teams now, Lewis. And we're going to start off Let's start off with Walk Racing, shall we?
Indeed.
We've talked about them a bit in qualifying. Lots of good pedigree coming into this event.
They have incredible pedigree. You look at them across previous seasons, as much as bringing it up again. TPS over in VCC, I believe they did actually win the teams championship over there with Reed Heasterbeek and Risto Capet. Won the drivers championship as well. You saw them last year. They won Formula Challenge last year. They're currently in the Super Cup. These guys are incredibly competitive. All they want to do is they want to win, and you can't like knock them for that. They're always up there in these championships. As much as they have, ethics that people don't really agree with, they're winning. And so they're a team that you've really got to look out for. They've signed Cameron Brewster. A lot of people would say that's quite a big risk, especially if you have someone like Rudy Speak in your pocket. But Cam has been getting faster and faster in these cars. And he's proved that here on a qualifying session so close. Slaps it in 8th. That's a very good result. So
10th.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of these drivers that you've got to look out for. He's got a good pace. So I think that Walk Racing night is going to be one you're going to have to keep an eye out for across the rest of the 2015 season.
I think the caveat with Walk was that Heasterbeek was unavailable. I mean,
agreed, yeah.
No disrespect to Cameron in the slightest. I think he was almost last season was a revelation for him. He was 10th in the championship. Kept on banging in really nice results, but you would take Heasterbeek over him. And I think Heasterbeek just doesn't have the time to do this championship this year. So I think in signing Cameron, they've got a consistent point scorer. And at the end of the day, if you've got Capet as the leader of the team, then I think they're just going to be, I think they're going to be just fine, I should say. Also, we've got Viking Racing coming in with Lars Bruggen and Mikael Tumala, though I can't see Tumala in the server currently. Unfortunately, Brugman's a good prospect, could score points. Tumala, not too sure about from the original time set on the server. Also, giving a shout out to CM Tech Racing, welcome to you lot. THR, welcome to WSS as well. And it must be said, we do reckon they are going to be in with
right
the
up there
the
in
team's
contention.
title.
Yeah,
Ross McGregor has proven this, and David John. He had a couple of poor qualifyings last year anyway. It's usually race 2.
He'll be in contention for race 2.
Yeah,
guarantee
exactly. Also, Epic Racing Team. After a year out, they are back and with a very Red Bull camo-esque inspired scheme. Interesting driver choices with Mason and Parker. None of them qualifying inside the top 15, but they can score points if they get in the right positions. And Parker is a race winner himself. He won in the last round of 2013, so always a potential for points with him. And that is all of our new teams, actually. So perhaps we can now move on to the teams who we think are going to be there.
Vodball new?
Oh no, Vodball had an association with Dre Racing last year.
Oh, of course they did. Of course they did.
And they were there in 2013. So they are technically a returning outfit in full, semi-returning from last year, but it's kind of like Adonis Engineering this year. It's an Adonis Y the F1 car. I think it should be called Adonis because Adonis is the lead team. A lot of other people will argue the other way, so
we'll see how the season goes.
They're both here,
They're both they're both here under the same outfit. Drake Vodball last year, but Vodball are back as a full outfit with Agustin Canapino and Fran Lopez, two fairly exciting prospects to the series. Two drivers I'm sure will be very interesting to watch across the 2015 season. So keep an eye on those two. Especially Fran. If Fran's down in the field, I want to see where Fran is going to finish in the end of the first race, because that could make or break his evening. Because if he finishes somewhere about 15th and he gets that reverse grid pole, he won here last year, he won here 12 months ago, we could see him taking the top step of the podium again if he plays his cards right.
Obviously, we've got to talk about Ice Cold. They're the favourites in Formula Challenge to take the team's title. I would say they're the favourites coming into this year to take the WSS title as well. They were second last year by a few points, just beaten out by Smile Power. Is there anyone who can stop them this year? I know that they're missing Strana, but they will have him back.
They've got John Monroe to replace as well.
John Monroe, as the reserve driver. And again, no disrespect to Fran, but he's been replaced by the champion. So surely they are looking like one of the most likely outfits to take the title in terms of the team's championship this year.
Yeah, they're a very interesting outfit to keep an eye on. Of course, replacing as much as it's a bad call as Nielsen slides about like a
Noob.
pillock, noob, a massive noob. The noob he is, the champion that he is. Replacing Fran with the champion is a good call. And not only that, but when Eric's missing this round due to a technical issue, they replace him with John Monroe. Okay, and John is not slow. They're fourth and fifth for this qualifying session. That's impressive. That's showing that they've gone right. We're missing one of our key drivers, but we're not going to get worried about this. We're just going to find a quick driver, and they found one. They got him in the seat, and it's looking like it could be another good evening for Ice Cold when they get their full lineup back when we go to Portimao next time. It's that should be something to keep an eye out for, especially as Eric will be going into that round without any weight. So you'll have to keep an eye out for Eric there. It's as I think now is a good time to pull out my my notes for this, where we went through this, and Jesper Tolborg, as he was last season, JT, Jesper Nielsen, he scored 10.6 points per race. Okay, now that's a bit of a mouthful, but just about 10.5 points per race. Then Eric, including he had an RF scan issue in Montreal.
Canada.
He scored 11.125 points per race. That includes that issue. And I actually did some more maths. Obviously, this doesn't include any weight. But if he hadn't have had that issue and everyone would have finished in the same place exactly, he would have scored 1 point more than Jesper. So what that's showing is that he could probably miss around, and because of the fact that he doesn't have any weight, he might be all right, later on in the season. So all I'm saying is from that, you cannot rule Eric out of the championship. He's going to be right up there at the end, as long as he plays his cards right in the season. But I'm interested to see who's going to be the competitor to him, because or who from here is going to be leading the championship. It's all about the reverse grid race, as we've spoken about quite a bit across the preseason, is that a lot of these drivers actually haven't gone through a reverse grid race properly, like a this size reverse grid race.
Like Capit, for example. I think that's
Capit.
one of the big things. As I say, the VCC is similar in that it uses the same vehicles and now it uses the same qualifying format, but it doesn't have weight penalties, or weight penalties. It doesn't have success ballast, and it doesn't have a reverse grid of this magnitude. It's 6 to 10 in VCC, 15 to 20 here. So big changes. It's going to be interesting to see how everyone reacts. It's Ross McGregor on pole, Jordan Weeks beside him, Lapassa in third. I want your prediction for the race one winner, Mr. McGlade.
I can't look past Ross. I reckon Ross will break away and will shoot off into the sunset. Albeit I say shoot off into the sunset, I don't think that's going to be very easy in this championship with this field. But I do think Ross will take the race one win from pole position.
I am going to go for Ross McGregor as well. I think pole to win, especially around this circuit where overtaking opportunities are slightly limited. Not as limited as other tracks like, say, Monaco, for example, but definitely more limited than, for example, I don't know, Bahrain, Monza. He'll have a good chance. So we've now finished our warm-up. As I say, if you want to get involved with the conversation on Twitter, hashtag GPVWC WSS, and we shall get to your tweets throughout the evening, hopefully. You notice that Mikael Tumala has rejoined us, as has Martin Palm for Torrent.
Yes.
Weeks' teammate, as it happens. Sidhu Novus asking how much fuel. Should have probably sorted that in testing, mate.
Yeah. That is what practice is for. Either way, I believe we are going to head over into the race very shortly, and the first race of the season.
I believe we're missing both Woods cars as well. Yeah, I don't see a single Woods car in here.
We know Hinz is ill.
We know Hinz is ill, but they did have Daniel Brewer. And yeah, I was worried about this. Oh no, we're missing another car then. Just thinking, I see one TTF is the other one here. No, so we're missing one TTF and 2 Woods. And that's not good for Woods as well, because their attendance wasn't too great last year. I personally think they were a little lucky to get in this year. And starting off the year on a downside is obviously not what you want to be doing. But anyway, cars just lining up on the grid now. And on pole position at the Circuit de Catalunya. Don't know what I was talking about there. Ross McGregor showing up in style for THR. He is followed by Jordan Weeks at Torrent Motorsports. Can this campaign be a successful one for the Englishman? Martin Lapassa on debut heads his Estonian teammate Risto Capit. Lapassa with Drake, Capit with Walk. Jesper Nielsen, our reigning champion, starts P5 for Ice Cold with Jarl Tyen for Enterprise GP. A great effort from him, P6. John Monroe starts P7 for Ice Cold with Augustin Canapino, P8 for Vodball. Kevin Siggy starts P9 for Enterprise, and the top 10 is rounded out by Cameron Brewster, P10 for Walk Racing. Lars Brugman starts P11 for Viking with Martinez Sidunovas, P12 for Triple 20. Tobias Olsen starts P13 for Mazurek Racing ahead of Wupke Hoekstra, P14 for Racing Team Schroten. Sven de Vries, disappointing qualifying for him, starts P15 behind his teammate for Mazurek Racing. With Matthew Chergwin heading the two Cosmos, P16. He is directly ahead of his teammate, Matt Richards, with Tom Parker, P18 for Epic Racing. Bart DeVos starts P19 for CM Tech Racing on their GPVWC debut. And David Franchich rounds out the top 20 for Triple 20. I love it when it happens. Mike Bell starts P21 for Lusitania, with David Junt second in the championship last year, starting all the way down in P22. Fran Lopez did qualifying, but it was a poor one for him, P23 for Vodball. Roy Schroten starts P24 for Wiley F1, with Mikael Tumala starting P25 for Viking. Jeffrey Fournier starts P26 for Waters Automotive, with Tomu Cabrera starting P27 for CM Tech. Morten Wernerson starts P28 in stark comparison to his teammate for Drag Racing, with Menno Klomp P29 for Racing Team Schroten. Martin Palmer rounds out the top 30 for Torrent Motorsports, with Sandeep Choda P31 for Wiley F1. Alexander van der Woude starts P32 for Tayfort, with Victor Silva P33 for Lusitania. Rob Mason starts P34 for Epic, with Benedictus Sinkevicius P35 for Tayfort. Florian Engel starts P36 for Walters Automotive. And Sherwin van der Sloot is stopping off at the side of the road for TTF, and I don't know why he's gotten back going again. But either way, he is last in the order, P37. We're missing the two Woods cars and Van der Sloot's teammate, Tyrone Frith.
Yeah, I don't really know what that was about, but either way, they are the first people are lining up on the grid as Ross McGregor's heading into his pole position slot. This is going to be the and I'm hoping that this is going to be an incredible season, anything to rival the 2014 season. I don't know how you could get better, but we'll just have to keep an eye out. I believe most of the people are in line at this point, as we're all lining up at the back of the grid.
It's Ross McGregor, his first pole position for THR here at GPVWC. Can he take it and convert it into a race win? We have one light, we have 2, 3, 4 and 5, and here for the World Sports Series 2015. We are off and away, and it's a great start from Martin Lapassa there in P3. He's already got the jump on Jordan Weeks. McGregor, though, he had a good start himself, and he is well off into, well, he's not well off into the distance, but he's got a good enough start into P1. There is Jesper Nielsen there on the inside. He's become hurtling down to turn 1. Will everyone keep it clean? Yeah, just about. So it is Ross McGregor, and oh, what a lovely bit of skill he's got through turn 1 and 2 there. Really starting to shoot off into the distance. It's Lapassa third. Sorry, that's the timing glitch with time, don't worry. Lapassa second, Weeks third, Nielsen fourth, Capit fifth.
Oh, Nielsen's off! Nielsen's off!
Oh, Nielsen's off! Oh, was that contact?
Yes. I don't know who it was.
Let's have a look. I'm just going on board with him now. Our
Might have been
championship
Weeks.
leader is off very early. And, oh, it was contact with Capit, went steaming down the inside. And it's a difficult one to judge whether that was Capit's fault or not. But he came steaming up the inside, and Nielsen is down the order.
Either way, that's one way to put one on the champ. Jeez. Capit's in 4th at the moment. There's a glitch with the old time. I think he's in 6th at this point, looking at him. But he is showing as first on the road. That'll get corrected at the end of this lap, don't worry. But that is a bad start for Jesper, as Monroe's under attack from literally everyone in 8th place.
Goodness me, and it is literally everyone is in 8th place.
Oh, Jarl's disconnected. Jarl's disconnected.
Oh, Jarl Katayan out of the race, unfortunately. Disappointing thing after a good qualifying. And I'll tell you what, the other Enterprise, Kevin Siggy's been mired by the field, but what a great start for Ross McGregor. Currently leagues ahead of Martin Lapassa there in 2nd. He rounds the final corner now, and as we said, it's a very, very long line it's a very long run to the line, I should say, but it is McGregor in 1st, Lapassa 2nd, Weeks 3rd, Cabot 4th, Canapino 5th, Monroe 6th, Bruce 7th, Sidunovus, great start up to 8th, Cherwin, great start up to 9th, and Tobias also rounds out the top 10, but he is under pressure from Kevin Siggy for that top 10. Siggy dives up the inside. Olsen holds on though.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get through into the top 10, Kevin Siggy. However, he is trying to get himself back up there. He's obviously not supposed to be that far down, but there you have Ross McGregor absolutely running away from the field. I believe he must have like a 2-second lead at the moment over Lapassa, who's doing a fantastic job in 2nd place as Matt Richards attacks Sven de Vries for 12th position.
Sven de Vries holding on for now. We've also had another retirement on lap 1, by the way. Roy Schroten for the Adonis outfit out there. So we've got 2 retirements already on lap 1, and unfortunately the timing still isn't sorting out as Sidhu Novus and everyone is getting into battle. Yeah, look at this. Oh, Olsen getting past Brewster. I think Brewster made a mistake potentially. And, oh, goodness me. And, oh, Brewster getting hit off by Cherwin there. And there goes Olsen and Siggy back through. So Brewster down to P11. And it's all a bit scrapping in this midfield here as Siggy looks removed, can't do anything. And now the timing is starting to sort itself out, thankfully. So McGregor first. Weeks has gotten past Lapassa into 2nd there. We didn't see that. But he is closely pursued by Cap and Canapino. Look at them in very close pursuit. Monroe on his own. Sidhu Novus on his own as well. Great start for the Lithuanian. As I say, he needs a bit of a restart to his career, and he's getting it pretty well there. Cherwin, Nathan. Oh, goodness me. Siggy up the inside of Olsen. And, oh, Siggy just about holding on there. He is up into P9, Olsen down to P10. But look at this 5-car train we have now, and there's going to be a lot of slipstream going on here.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest driving on the first lap, over a 2.4-second lead for Ross McGregor as Kevin Siggy is coming under attack down into turn 1.
Olsen on the inside as we have a Drake exiting the pits. I'm guessing that's Wernerson. Olsen up the inside, and oh, Siggy giving him plenty of room. Bit of a slide, and Brewster around the outside as well. That's great opportunistic driving from the Englishman, and Siggy loses 2 places in face.
Oh, a bit of a slide.
And Will Cherwin is also going all off the track. Goodness me.
Cherwin gets past both of them.
Siggy loses position to Matt Richards as well. It's really scrappy down here in the lower points positions.
It's not the cleanest of driving as we've got a car backwards on track. I don't know who that is.
Van der Sloot, don't worry.
Oh, God. Oh, Siggy's off.
Oh,
he's went wide at turn 3, 4. We'll get it right eventually.
And
I believe that's Lars Brugman going around the outside.
Back into 13 there behind Sven de Vries. We have battling up at the front though. Look at this. Lapassa had lost the position to Capit, but Capit's now down to P5 from Augustin Canapino. I think we've got to focus on this battle now because it is still very close up at the front.
Canapino's probably going to go for a move on the inside of turn 10. There he goes.
Here he goes. And it's a nice clean move. Lapassa tries to hold on around the outside, but nothing doing. Canapino up into P3. This is where he was for the majority of race 1 last year as well. And Lapassa going slightly wide. He's got to defend off Capit. And look at Monroe onto the back of this battle as well. Sidunovus not too far behind as well.
Yeah, Monroe, the lone ice cold up in the points. Jesper Nielsen, champion, down in 27th position after that incident on turn 1. On lap 1 rather. I think the pressure's getting to Lapassa a little bit because you've seen he's getting a little bit scruffy, but if he just holds his breath and keeps going, he's gonna get a fantastic result from this race. Still currently running in a podium position.
Locking up all the positions, or locking up all the tyres, I should say, into turn. Look, he is so much faster through turn 1 and 2 than Canapino there.
Absolutely.
I do wonder whether that's going to wreck his tyres though. All of this ultimately is helping Ross McGregor a 3.2 lead on lap 4 of 14. He's loving this.
He's as I say, if you give him just that gap, he'll go for it, and he's been absolutely handling that gap. So, yeah, I think Ross, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, which he doesn't really do it that much in these cars, he'll be getting through. Capit going through.
Oh, and that was a little bit of a dive, but he's made it stick. So Capit up into P4, goes a little bit wide though. Lapassa right on the back of him, and Monroe's still there, as I say. Sidunova's still there. Cherwin up into P8. It's a great drive from the Englishman so far. He's in a bit of territory of his own. Olsen the same. Richards under all sort of pressure from Brewster. De Vries 12th, Brugman 13th, Siggy now down to 14th, and he's going to lose another position to Palm if he's not careful. He's all over the place, and I tell you what, this is a train behind him as well. Look at this, we've got Palm, Yunt, Klont, Choda all in there, and Fran Lopez isn't too far behind either.
You see, originally we went through before qualifying like that and said who do you think is going to win the race, and I picked Siggy for getting pole position in the win in the first race.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it. Maybe going for it in the second race, but he is absolutely struggling at the moment. As I believe that was Sven de Vries that we were watching, getting under attack from Lars Brugman as he's trying to pull away from the train behind him, and long train it certainly is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, La Pasa is being slightly helped here in P5 now by the fact that Sidinovas has really caught up to the back of John Monroe. And I'll tell you what, for Triple 20, this is a great start as well. Sidinovas really, really impressing me here. He looks to the inside of Monroe, not going to be making a move just yet, but the P7 is going to be a great start to their campaign.
Yeah, it's a train behind Jordan for second at the moment as Canapino is really catching up to the back of him as well. So, yeah, we've everyone up there is still within about 2 seconds down to John Monroe. I think it's about 2.5 down to Sidinovas. So they're all very, very close for that second position. And if anything happens, anyone can get it. So that's one to keep an eye on, that fight for what is effectively second.
What a different front of the field we have here.
Indeed.
And all legitimately there as well. I mean, there's going to be questions to be answered from Risto Capit's point for that early contact with Jesper Nielsen, for sure. And of course, we had the tie-end disconnection, but well done to everyone up there at the front that is up at the front, and especially well done to Ross McGregor. His lead now extended to 4.2 seconds. He is running away with it.
See, my thing with Nielsen is Nielsen's obviously going to be aiming for somewhere in the top 20 to hopefully get reversed, but he's down in 27th position, I believe, so he's got a long way to go. There's still 10 laps to go in this race. There's still a long way to go, but
12 seconds off the next car.
It's going to be a
20,
hard battle.
So I don't think he's going to do it.
David Junt moves up into 15th place. He is now at the lower end of that, what will be that reverse grid pull, so he will definitely get reversed from his current position. We know how good David Junt is in those reverse grid races. Currently a nice big sandwich with the THRs acting as the bread.
Yeah, looks like Siggy's actually pulled away from the danger of falling out of the points, and he's now focusing on catching up to the battle for 10th, which is still on. And here goes Sven de Vries actually on Matt Richards. P11 and P10, Sven poor qualifying, but he has passed Richards on the straight, and I think a P10 will do rather nicely for the American.
Yeah, as I said, he thought he was going to struggle coming into this round, and we are watching that now as Tobias Olsen and Matthew Churgwin are going side by side around turn 3. However, Tobias Olsen gets through.
Been impressed with Olsen so far.
Indeed, Olsen's actually doing a very good job for the moment. I believe the last time I saw him in one of these cars, he was upside down with the car going underneath him at Bathurst.
Nice, nice.
Doing a much better job than that as we currently are as now Sven de Vries is having to defend very heavily from Matt Richards.
Canapino past Weeks.
Ooh.
Didn't see that. Where did that happen? It must have happened to turn 3. I'm just going back now.
I think they were still going for it.
Yep, he went up the inside of turn 1.
Yeah, need to get back to live because they're going under attack now down to turn 10.
Right, Canapino took him in turn 1. That's all you need to know. And that's just a timing glitch of Canapino. But Jordan Weeks around the outside of Lekaiksa. And he's holding on for dear life, but Canapino has the line in here. Comes Risto Capit now. He's going to dive up the inside himself. And Jordan Weeks is still going around the outside of Canapino. He's not going to be able to do it here, though. Will Capit have a little dive? No, he won't. But once again, this battling is closing up. And look how defensive Canapino has to go into the chicane. It's all so close. And there's Monroe there in P5. He's back on this trend as well. So, dearie me. I don't think the second and third position is done just yet as Risto Capit now looks to attack Jordan Weeks. Here we go now down into turn 1. Weeks defends though. He's got the slipstream of Canapino. And got a little bit crossed up there to Canapino, and all Weeks being held up here. Capit trying to look for a way through, but he can't, and so many different lines to take turn 3. All of them eventually ending in the same thing as Capit gets a little bit loose through turn 3 action. Can Martin Lapasa capitalise? Lapasa's alongside, but no, Capit breaks late and he manages to maintain P4. What great racing at the front here. It's just a shame it's not for a lead.
Indeed, Ross McGregor is doing everything that he needs to do. 5.7 second lead at the moment. That's incredible. But it's one way to start your championship. But here down this is just getting me very pumped for the second race and to see how close it's going to be there with all of these people racing so well. However, obviously earlier on in the race we saw a bit of a mess, but everything's going well so far for this 5. No contact really, and just good racing.
Top 17 still within 20 seconds. Just shows how close this field really is. We head into the kite zone. Weeks takes a stab at Canapino. And that was a really nice move. He goes a little deep. Canapino going to try and get back on the inside. And he does get back on the inside. Really nice cutback from Canapino.
Well, nice defensive driving there. It's really quite aggressive, but it was very, very nicely thought out. And that's what I like to see. When you see good defensive moving, it's all about thinking about what that guy's going to do and then countering what he's going to do, not bashing him off the track.
And Canapino, because of the nice defensive driving, now has a rather nice gap to Willies, as Reeds has a nice gap to Capen. If anything, Martin Pastor is looking the most in danger of losing a position is John Munro. Looks on the inside now, turn 1 can't do anything, no, it's all status quo as Canapino once again looks slower than everyone else through there. Weeks right on his back and caught out once again and now under pressure on Capen. Going around turn 3 now, into turn 4 at Rafael. Canapino leads Weeks, who leads Capit, Lapassa, and Monroe has a little look on the inside of Lapassa, can't get anything done. Watch out for Sidney Novoselic in the background as well, all on his own in P7. If anything goes wrong with any of these drivers ahead, then he's going to be in a primary position to pick up as many points as possible for the Croatian outfit.
Yeah, agreed. Just keeping an eye on that dual one. A bit further down, we've got everyone breaking apart a bit. Last problem is really on the back of Matt Richards now. It's fallen off the back of 10th race in 11th and 12th. I think Lars is going to be looking for a move very soon to get himself closer to that top 10. Centre race is now really going off the back of Shogun as Lars is really going for a move now.
Here goes Lars. And he do it around the outside of the racer. No, he can't. And he's at risk of leaving the door open. And there's Kevin Siggy, who's caught up to the back of this battle as well. If you're in Siggy's position now, you're a little bit out of position. You've been bullied down the field to a certain extent. You haven't got the start you wanted. What do you do? Do you do a David Jones and think, well, I'm going to be in higher positions for race 2. Why don't I just stay here? Or do you try and get as many points as possible?
It's all about patience. You've just got to let people do their own thing. It's all about race 2 at this point for Siggy. Obviously, you've got to do damage control in this race and get as high as you can, but trying to fight aggressively to get to that position isn't really going to benefit you. If he's thinking properly, he'll be thinking, look, if I finish here, then in race 2, I'll be...
Lars. Now inside turn 1, sorry, and Larsman has reached his camera, just the cutback. No, he can't. He's got to look out for Brewster as well. He's going to try and go wide in, but he's left the ball wide open for Brewster. And Brewster, he takes advantage of it. Brugman is passing. Oh, Richards caught up under the rear wing Brugman, and I think that's a nice move from Dutchman up into the 11.
Indeed, but there's a lot of scrapping behind, there's sliding about as Cam's trying to get a move on that. Obviously, these two teammates over in that TPS VC season, and Merritt is driving full Cameron Brewster in Super Cup, so I'm not really sure what's going through Cam's mind when it comes to fighting him. I'm sure Cam's thinking that he's faster at this point.
Hello. Oh, no, sorry, that's... Don't worry. I was on hold. Oh, sorry, Brewster gets turn 8, horribly wrong there. And you've got Siggy going around the outside of the Campasa, turn 9. Brewster shoves him out though, and shuts him out, I should say. And you've got to be careful now, because Siggy will take any opportunity he can get.
Contact between Siggy and Cam.
Oh, and Brewster on the inside. Just about takes the position as Siggy. Let's have a little look at the contact there.
It was just a really slight on the accident.
Yeah.
No problem with it.
So Siggy up into P13. Brewster down to P14. No, he's looking on the inside of Siggy, didn't he? He takes a wide line into Siggy. But he means he gets a better exit. Out to turn 15 and through turn 16, which is interestingly called New Holland. I've got no idea why. But we'll see whether Brewster can react. Brewster in the slipstream Siggy as we head down to turn 1. Siggy half-heartedly goes on the defensive front. Brewster looking to the inside now. Will he break later? He has a go, but Siggy just about holds on. He's now got to try desperately to catch the Richards.
Risto Capit. Martin Lapasa going very, very wide on the exit of turn 3. Obviously, that line is illegal. I'm sure it's getting a lot of under-zeros tides hitting that a bit too much. What I'm impressed with most is how close Lapasa is keeping to the back of Risto Capit. We know how fast Risto is in these cars, and I don't know if 5 people around him partying is putting him off or anything, but Martin Lapasa is keeping right to the back of him. That's very impressive.
He's been more of a star this season so far than Capit himself. And fair play to Martin. We hope he can keep going to the end. But he's got to watch out for John Munro, being an ever-present on the rear of the Estonians so far, and I'm sure that the Scots will take, like so many other people, any opportunity he can get. If Lapasa leaves the door open, John's going to be into it. Lapasa goes a little wide, and there you can see Munro almost putting Lapasa around turns 11, 10, 12. Indeed, he is up the inside, actually, as I think, yes, he's gone past Richards as well. I'll just have a little look at that move, because there's a contact between City and Richards. Yeah, I think Richards went a little deep on that one, so and then City now down. Dear me. Don't know what happened there. Apparently we're having some camera issues, so we apologise. We're going to go read the commentary now. Basically, Richards just slammed into the back of City there, and that let himself and Brewster through. So poor driving from Richards. And let's have a look. I think the closest battle on track now with good points at hand here is the pass of V Munro. And look at that, the pass has gone wide again. He is going to get caught up the track limits if he's not careful.
He's also going to get caught by John Munro.
Oh yeah, down the inside he goes for turn 4. But Lapasa will have the inside for turn 5. But Seriat. Lapasa breaks just later, but Munro is looking hungry for that P5 now. Problem is, it's lap 11 and 14, he's running out of time. And that was cut from Munro. It is, Fender Resource, he's past Cherwin now, into P9 and P10, but we keep on, Cherwin's actually back through, and can pass a great back going on between these two. We'll have a little look at Fender Reese now. A bit of contact between De Vries and Cherwin actually. And Cherwin does keep it into. Good speed, both of them go very deep. But De Vries has the corner, and Brugman up the inside of Cherwin as well. Out to the top 10 Euros. So that was a great move from Brugman. So while we are still trying to sort out cameras for you lot, it is now lap 12 of 14. Goes on to Canapino, 6.1 behind. A further 7 tenths behind. Then Capit, Lapasa, Munro. And in fact, Munro has fallen right off the back of Lapasa. In fact, it's Silunovas now who's looking the more likely to overtake here. He's going down the back straight, but no, he's not got enough straight line speed on him, unfortunately. Alternate. Reese 9th, but under heavy pressure from Brugman, who's had a quiet but good race so far. Reese holds on to that into turn 1. Brugman 10th, Cherwin 11th, Richards 12th. Brewster cuts in the wall corner there into turn 1 and P13. City 14th, Junt 15th, and of course, remember, we've got the reverse winner 15 to 20 here. So Lopez is 16, Palm 17, Voss 18, Klon 19, and Tumala currently 20th. Interesting to see both Viking racing cars in with a good chance of points actually when it comes to race 2. But let's have a little look here. Things seem to have quietened down now. I think the close battle really is De Vries v Brugman, but since De Vries has kept Brugman off his tails for this long so far, I think it shouldn't be too much of a worry for the American towards the rest of the race. As I say, if anything, it's either the battle. Actually, no. I think Weeks might have a. Yeah, I think Weeks might have a trouble keeping on to the podium. Well, yeah. I say that, Cabot just launched himself over the anti-cuts. That's pretty much ruined any chance of a run on the home straight for lap 12 here, pretty much to say.
Indeed, that was an interesting incident with Cabot. He just ran a bit wide. I don't think that podium position is over for Cabot. I think he'll, there's still a few laps to go. In fact, 2 at the end of this one, 2 at the end of this one. So he's got 2 laps to catch up to the back of Weeks and get past. It's possible. But is it likely? I don't know. Ross McGregor's got a 6-second lead, so he is totally out of the picture at this point. And I think Agustin Canapino has just made enough of a gap to secure second at this point, as Jordan hasn't actually closed up very much across the entire race, as Risa takes a very nice line, an interesting one, through turn 2.
Yeah, the top 7 have really split out. And in fact, it seems to be that the closest battle on track now is, I was going to say P9 and 10. Yeah, it's still very close between P13 and 14 as well. I think we'll keep an eye on 9 and 10 for the moment, because De Vries is there in P9, but Brugman is really hounding him, and Turgwin there as well. He's going to want more points. As Brugman late on the brakes into turn 5, heading down, or turn, yeah, we're going through turn 6 now, up into turn 7 and 8. The Dutchman on the back of the pseudo-Dutchman. Yeah, I'm thinking Brugman,
nice.
might be lighting up a move here into La Caixa, also known as turn 10. De Vries goes ultra defensive already, goodness me. And unless he goes deep, he should be able to onto the position. Brugman around the outside, that's nicely held off by De Vries.
Yeah, it was nice. He just thought about with De Vries. He just carefully positioned his car. He's a bit slower. You can actually see it if you ride on board with Lars. You can see the De Vries is a bit slower through the apex of some of the corners, and Lars he's jumping forward and going vroom vroom and then lifting out a bit.
Turgwin's right in the back, right, final lap. McGregor leads by 6 seconds. It's been about a consistent 6 seconds after lap 4 or so. He looks safe in the lead. Canapino second, Weeks third, and I think Capit's a bit too far back to try anything now. La Passa fifth. On row 6, Nova 7th. Olsen 8th, and then it is back to his battle for P9 and P10, the closest on track at the moment. De Vries 9th, Brugman 10th, and Turgwin. We'll see whether he can get any more points out of this in P11 as we head round turn 3. De Vries, you can see the tyres starting to squeal. They want to go out, He's keeping it nice and clean. Brugman, will he have a dive up into turn 4? No, he won't. De Vries holding on nicely. By the way, since we are near the end of the race, Champion Watch, Nielsen only managed to get up to P26, so him along with Tyen, along with the likes of Parker and Francis as well, they're going to be starting outside the top 20. Not a good start to their seasons.
No, but it is a long season. There's 20 races in it, 19 after the completion of this one, so plenty of time for everyone to get on the back of Ross McGregor. But Lars Brugman, yep, right on the back of Sven De Vries.
I reckon he might have another look. Will De Vries go ultra defensive?
Yeah.
He doesn't go very wide, but I'm just keeping an eye to the front as well, seeing when McGregor crosses the line. Will De Vries go defensive? Yes, he does. Will Brugman go around the outside? He'll try his hardest, but De Vries once again holds on, but Brugman's got a nice exit, and he's going to be through at turn 12, is he? No, it's not enough. It's side by side. But let's go to Ross McGregor now. He rounds the final corner from pole position to race win. It's an excellent start to the season for THR. Ross McGregor wins in Spain with Canapino second. Weeks does hold off Capit to take his first podium of the season. Capit fourth. La Passa an excellent fifth for Drake Racing. Great job from the Estonian on his debut. Monroe sixth. Sidunovas, great effort from the Lithuanian seventh. Olsen eighth. De Vries just holds off Brugman for ninth. Brugman himself in 10th. Turgwin 11th. Matt Richards 12th. Bruce the 13th. Siggy a very disappointing 14th. And then we start off our reverse grid candidates. David Junt 15th. Fran Lopez 16th. Palm 17th. De Vos 18th. Clont 19th. And just holding off Tumala there for P20. Your retirements from this race were Roy Stroton and Jarl Tyen.
Yeah, I'm wondering how. So Jesper actually did get past another person, did Jesper Nielsen? As Jesper Nielsen's in 25th place now. He got past. Oh, as Van der Sloot's crashing in front of him. That's terrifying. Jeez, that's scary. But Jesper Nielsen's actually going to finish 25th. He's the person I would keep an eye on in the race to maybe get some points. But his evening is pretty much done, unfortunately, as much as a shame that is. But yes, congratulations to Ross McGregor. That was a fantastic drive from start to finish. Didn't even look back. I said as soon as he breaks the gap behind, and I think he does owe Martin La Passa a drink, because he did do him a world of favours. But Ross McGregor just didn't look back at all. He just drove perfectly and takes the win.
Yeah, indeed. So, talking points during the race. Very early on, contact between Capit and Nielsen. What were your early impressions of that?
I didn't go back and actually watch the incident, so
It seemed to
can't
me
judge
like Capit
properly.
had a late dive essentially through on turn 4.
Yeah, it's something that the admins will have to look at. I'm pretty sure Jesper will report it or Eric will. But we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, indeed. Just talking with a couple of the drivers now. What a start for Ross McGregor, though. THR with 26 points, because we forget that Yunt got that 15th. And, I mean, it's the same case as last year, isn't it? Yunt now P15. He's going to get automatically put to the front, no matter what the number is.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll have it easy because he's got a lot of people around him, like Fran. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to have that one easy at all.
Right. Oh, yeah, another variable that's one of the drivers has just brought up to me here. We've yet to see rain this evening. And
We
there
have
are
yet to
showers
see
about.
rain. Yes, we could have rain in this race. I'm pretty sure at this point, Jesper's praying for it because he needs something like that to reset his evening.
Yeah, indeed. Right. So we're now eagerly awaiting our reverse grid number. And while we're doing that, I shall check the Twitter. Shane Burke says, "Go Jordan," and he says a hashtag which I will not repeat on air. But actually, to be fair, I think that's a very good point. Jordan Weeks, another strong start to the show. P3, but oh, what's this? Success ballast. Ross McGregor 45, Augustin Canapino 36. Jordan Weeks will have 27. Lapasa on his... Actually, no, was it? Yeah. Who was 4th? Capit. Capit on his debut will have 18. And Lapasa on his debut will have 9. So, quickly, before we do get the reverse grid number, how does weight affect you in these cars, Lewis? Because we know that in a touring car, when it's a bit more luggish, it makes it a bit more understeery, so on, so on, so on. But you can handle it. Is there a bit more of a profound effect in these cars?
You see, I've obviously last season, whilst I was running Aurora, Chris took the first win of the season, which meant going into the second race at Bahrain, he had 45 kilos. I remember talking to him through the race, and he couldn't believe how much of a difference it made to the car, with how much the weight, it just throws you off. Because these cars, I can't stress it too much. If you're sitting at home watching this going, oh yeah, they're fine, drive the cars. Honestly, they are the weirdest things to drive in R Factor. They're so bizarre. One of the weirdest things to drive in R Factor. There's that lemon mod, but
Lemon?
they're right. They're really bizarre cars to drive. The handling style of them, and so the way the weight affects them is actually really quite different. It just makes it really sluggish as you'd normally expect. But if you look at people like Eric last season, I think when he took a win, there was only one time after taking a win where in the second race he got a top 10, and that one was at Montreal where he had it removed. But other than that, I think he was finishing like 12th or something like that, just because the weight was holding you back so much. So having 45 kilos in comparison to having 36, massive difference, because that 9 kilograms is huge on the effect of the car. The reverse grid number is 16, by the way.
So Fran Lopez on pole, and what do you know? David Yunt, P2.
Fran's definitely one you'd look out for. Obviously, Fran, 12 months ago, took the win in this very race. So definitely one to keep an eye out. I don't know if he wasn't. I don't think he was reverse gridded onto pole position, but he was certainly reverse gridded up in that area. I think he actually finished in the top 10 in race 1. But he did go on to win that race. So a possible race win for Fran Lopez here.
Kevin Siggy starts P3.
Kevin Siggy, he is damn fast as well. So as long as he keeps his cool together, Kevin Siggy could be taking the win in the second race. So many people that we've got to be keeping an eye out for. And a 14-lap race to decide it all, coming up in about 4 minutes' time.
I think it was Brewster who will be starting P4, Richards starting P5. So in the top 5, we have 4 race winners over the course of WSS history. So, should be exciting. Definitely 5 podium getters as well. And remember, reverse grids are not only David Junt's speciality. Brewster, He was a star in reverse grid races, if we remember. So many great underdog performances, and it all started off here in Spain with a P2. Can he replicate that sort of feat?
Who knows? As I say, there's just so many people to keep an eye on across this reverse grid. I don't know who I'm actually going to pick for a win in this race.
Yeah.
I really haven't got a clue. I'm pretty sure who it's not going to be. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Ross McGregor.
45
actually,
kilograms.
Here is an interesting stat that I did tell you last night. Where only twice last season did one person stand on the podium in both events. And that was Tim Heinemann in Belgium. He stood on the podium in both events. Won the first one, came third in the second, and was Ruud Heesterbeek in Germany, where I believe he finished second and third. And those are the only two times where one person has stood on the podium. It's an incredible thing that we actually haven't had that very much. But that there shows how much the weight affects you, because you just can't work your way back up. So I do not think Ross McGregor will be able to win this race at all.
Thomas Jacobs getting involved with hashtag GPVWC. Just hashtag GPVWC, I think. It's better than all the letters. Shout out to the Lord of the Rings reference. Thank you. I don't think I've ever referred to anybody as Gandalf before, but yeah.
That Lord of the Rings reference. I was sitting going, huh? The last time we made a reference, I said something very naughty.
You did say something very naughty.
Memories.
There's something that should be in the X-Men films and not on a broadcast. So, yeah. But yeah, what can Jesper do from there? P26 was it? P25? I mean, surely points are on the table, as they are for probably himself, Jarl, Frančić, the fast guys who were caught out in that race. But can he expecting, is it just points is the aim, or can he try and push for a top 10? What if rain gets involved as well? I've seen the rain percentage going above 20, and that wet tyres.
It does. I think Jesper's got to take a risk if any rain does get involved. I mean, I honestly, I feel for the guy. He is not in a comfortable position. But I don't know what his goals are going to be. I don't think he really cares, to be honest. Knowing Jesper, he's really laid back and just calls everyone a noob. So I don't really know what his goals are going to be. But I think realistically, he should be aiming for points. It shouldn't be a top 10, just because I don't know how hard it's going to be. There's so many fast people out there. It's going to be incredibly impressive if he gets even into the points.
I'll tell you one thing which will be going for him though, is that he won't have he won't have success ballast going into Portimao.
That is true.
Unless he has a sensational result in race 2.
And that it would have to be properly sensational, and everyone else would have to mess up. But yeah, that is going to be interesting to see ice cold racing with no ballast at Portimao.
No ballast at all. So we have Lopez on pole, Young second, Siggy third, Brewster fourth, Richards fifth. Who's your pick for the race 2 winner, Lewis?
As I said, I just can't pick it. I think if Siggy keeps out of trouble, he should have the pace to win this race, but he has to keep out of trouble, and this is Kevin Siggy. We've seen him keep out of trouble before and do great things for that, but he hasn't won a race in WSS, if I recall correctly. He didn't win one last year.
No, he got a pole position.
He did, but he never won a race. So, I don't know, maybe this is Siggy's chance, but honestly, I haven't got a clue who's going to win this. I think if Siggy doesn't, I reckon Dundee will. I reckon David Jan will win this race.
I was going to say David Jan. I think he's got it. Because we've seen it so many times last year. In fact, he is the guy with the most race wins last year. It's incredible to think that he lost out to the guy with no race wins.
After 4 race wins
himself. After 4 race wins himself. So, can he get off on a good foot this year? We shall wait and see. He's already got a point on the board. That's a good thing. Can he bump that up to 26 though? We shall find out very soon.
I mean, as much as here's an interesting thing, not that it's so interesting, but when Aurora Motorsports and Smart Power Racing were working close together, you had Chris Butcher win the first race, correct? And then David Young went to go win the second race. Now, at that point, they were effectively teammates. We were all working together at Aurora and Smile. So they were stable mates, as you might consider it.
Yeah.
This year, could he go back to back with his teammate? Because Ross has won the first race, can he bring THR their second win of the evening again, like he did 12 months ago at Bahrain?
I think it'd be fair to say that coming into this evening, THR were definitely considered one of the top teams, but outsiders at best. Would be a great boost of confidence to go out as team championship leaders for sure.
Yeah, they've got to do a bit of work to get to that point. Anyway, we'll just wait for the session to tick over and move on into the second race.
And Parker says, remember, only banter. We shall wait and see whether the rain gods above are in a laughing mood today. So we are into
Totally dry.
a totally dry session. But it started totally dry in every practice session that we were in. And rain came along later. So we shall wait and see here. What an interesting prospect we have. Just looking at Mazurek as well. Quick shout out to them. 8th and 9th in race 1. They start 8th and 9th in race 2 as well. Solid points on the board for
Or
them.
the other way around, but yeah, they're going to be one to look out for. They were the one that I was looking at going, that could be a really, really solid lineup. Sven de Vries finished, I think he finished 4th in the championship, 3rd in the championship last year. I think it was 3rd actually after Rude having not a great race in the final race of the season. But Sven, he's obviously he's a very good driver. Now he's teamed up with Tobias, and Tobias is the risk. He can be very, very fast. However, he does have the tendency to find walls.
Yes.
But clearly doing a very good job here. They could be a very solid lineup, and they are proving that right now. Two both cars in the top 10 in the top 10 fairly comfortably as well. They might be able to do it in this race as well, and if they do, they're proving themselves as a fairly strong contender for a top 5 spot in the teams.
Lopez starts us off on pole position then for Vodball Racing. Going around very quickly and very aggressively, it must be said. Junt is behind in P2, Siggy P3. Brewster P4 ahead of his teammate Churgwin. Oh no, what am I talking about? He's ahead of Richards, who's ahead of his teammate Churgwin. Rugman 7th. Then we have the Mazurek duo of De Vries and Olsen 8 and 9 as Sidunovas rounds out the top 10. Monroe starts P11, and then we have the weight ballast guys. We have Lapasso with 9, Capit with 18, Weeks with 27, Canapino with 36, and McGregor with the full 45. I think you'll consider his lucky stars very, very lucky tonight, as he's a little bit higher than he might have expected if it had been the full 20 reverse grid. Bart DeVos misses out cruelly on CM Tech's first ever pole position. He's there in 17th with Clont 18th, Chumala 19th, and Francis 20th, again for triple 20. Silva 21st, Cabrera 22nd, Choda 23rd, Nielsen 24th, Van der Wilder 25th, Parker 26th, Bell 27th, Engel in the garage in 28th, so problems for him and Wouters. Hoekstra then will start P28, Sinkevicius 29th, Fournier 30th, Mason 31st, Wernerson 32nd, Van der Sloot 33rd, Tyen 34th, and Schroden 35th. And as I say, Engel, when he comes out the garage, will be our 36th driver.
Tyen's going to be one to look out for down in 34th position. A driver who obviously had an unfortunate disconnection in the first race.
After running P6, he would have been
exactly. So, keep an eye on his pace. As not the greatest start to the season for a few people. However, moving on to Portimao again, long season to go, as they're all coming round to hit their grid spots for the second race of the 2015 season.
Almost said 2014.
I did very, very nearly say
almost.
2014. You all heard it. It was close.
It was close, but not close enough. How close will the racing be here in race 2, though? Will we get rain? Will we get a new winner? We're about to find out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and here for the second time in Barcelona. We are off and away. It's a very slow start from Lopez. Junt, though, spins up his tyres. A great start from Brewster, actually. And Siggy, who's gotten away well, has now found himself boxed in between 3 cars there as we hurtle down to turn 1. Siggy now looking on the inside of Junt. And into turn 1 we go. Lopez leads. Brewster up into 3rd, though he's going side by side with Siggy. And I think Siggy has it. Yes, he does. So Lopez, a good start. Junt 2nd. Siggy 3rd. We've got Brewster 4th. And I think it's very much line and stern for everyone. I don't think anybody moved out of a different position there. Lapasso,
Wow.
as I say, Junt into turn 4 there. He's gone very deep. And will this allow Siggy through? It's going to be close, isn't it, as we head down into turn 5 at Seat. Siggy around the outside. Oh, that was very close. With Siggy just about getting. Now he's on the inside of Fran Lopez. Siggy going for the lead in. No, he isn't. Going through turn 6. Lopez stays ahead just about, but Siggy all right on the back of Lopez. And if the speed in race 1 was anything to go by, then we might see the Austrian having a go down into P10. Yunt 3rd. Richards 4th. Brewster now down to 5th. Brugman 6th, Cherwin 7th, De Vries 8th, Olsen 9th,
Siggy's going for it.
Novus 10th, Siggy is going for it into Lekaiser, into Learn 10, he breaks late, and he has it. Kevin Siggy, from the lower reaches of the points, now leads race 2. Fran Lopez trying everything he can to get back at him, but he's almost, I think he hit the back of him and made it a little bit loose as we head now into Europe Car, and now into the chicane at turn 14 and 15. And oh, Fran Lopez absolutely clattering down. A nice slide out for good measure from Siggy. Rounding the final corner though at New Holland. Onto lap 2 we go. It is Siggy, Lopez, Yunt, Richards, Cherwin, Brewster, Brugman, De Vries, Olsen and Capit rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, there goes Fran. Fran's going for it again. Well, he's going to be on the outside for turn 1. I don't know if he's going to make this stick. He's going to go for it though. What a... Oh, is he holding it there?
Siggy gives him enough room, and in fact Siggy goes out wide himself on the inside of turn 3 though. What a great move this will be for Fran Lopez if he can make a stick. Siggy still on the outside, or on the inside I should say. Can Fran Lopez complete what would be a very audacious move? It's a turn 4! Siggy goes deep and Fran Lopez goes off wide. And that's a real shame for Lopez. I think I'm going to need you to call that one for me, Lewis.
I will take a look on my replay then.
Okay, as Lewis goes back to have a look at that, Siggy just holding off Yunt now. I think that little bit of contact has really put him off and he's really developed to train it. Richards right on the back of Yunt, and look at Cosmo all together, 3rd and 4th for Cosmo Autosports. I think Joshua Anderson is going to need a new pair of undies after this if things stay the way they are. Brugman up into 5th now, he's past Brewster. The two Mazuriks are 7th and 8th, Cap up to 9th, and
Cherwin, big dive bomb.
down into 10th. Oh, Cherwin! He's through into P3 now, very audacious, and I wouldn't want to be in Richard's shoes, but yeah, give us some feedback on that contact between Siggy and Lopez.
It's, I don't know, it's very hard to tell. It looked a bit more like a racing incident. Siggy drifted out a little bit wide, but, you know, it's, I don't know, I'd suggest it's a racing incident looking at it from the angle that I did. Wait for the stewards to come back at that one if that gets reported. But all Siggy has to do now is he can't be thinking about that incident. He's just got to be focused on the road ahead of him. Pull away because he is faster than Dundee, David Yunt, and he just needs to focus on pulling out that gap. Matt Richards, obviously winner of the final race in 2014. Don't think he'll be the winner today, but he's certainly trying to make himself a podium sitter.
And talking of people moving up the order, here goes Risto Capit up the inside of Tobias Olsen. Ooh, almost shoved up wide. And here goes Fran Lopez now, looking to recover. I think, if anybody wants my personal opinion, I think Lopez, it was a very audacious move, oh my word, Capit losing it on the exit of turn 3. Goodness me, he's got a very slidey car, but it just seemed a little bit too audacious. I think Siggy was going to go deep, and I think it was a brake lock-up, not much he could do there. To be fair, I'd be counting his lucky stars that he's still in P9, because that's still a very good point-scoring position for the Spaniard if he keeps going. He's clearly got the pace to keep with the guys ahead of him, but meanwhile, Siggy, after causing a bit of a train the lap before, he's now pulled out the gap to 8 tenths. We've got Yunt for THR and P2. I mean, look at this. Cosmo starting now to develop a bit of a train of their own. Cherwin 3rd, Richards 4th, Brugman 5th, and it looks like Brugman's going to try and make a move on Richards now into Leclerc. So will Cherwin have a dive on Yunt? Yes, he will. Brugman, Brugman rushed out the way by Richards. Again, a bit rude if you ask me, but nevertheless, he does keep the position. Brugman's going to come back in. Brewster sitting behind in 6th. The free 7th. Olsen 8th. And there's Capit going around the outside of turn 9. Oh, sorry, turn 12, as I say. He goes very wide. Comes out just ahead of Monroe. That was very lucky. I don't know how on earth he held that, to be honest. But Capit down to 10th. There's Monroe in 11th. Oh, a bit of contact between them and Capit going wide again. And there's Monroe through. He'll take that. Thank you very much. Capit struggling with the weight, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time I think we've seen Capit with weight in these cars. Obviously, the first time we've seen it in WSS in such a reverse grid. He seems like he's struggling a little bit, but you know, we'll just have to see how the race goes on. John Monroe Moving up a little bit further as Canapino's looking down the inside, bit of contact there, and even more contact further behind as Canapino gets sort of knocked back a bit, and then Weeks goes into the back of him, and it's just a big messy incident. However, Canapino gets back in front of Jordan Weeks as Jordan Weeks cuts the turn on shoot. Oh wow!
The passer up the inside, he's got the least weight of all of these guys, and up the inside he goes. Oh, contact again, similar incident to Siggy Lopez. Weeks keeps on the road, but La Paz, a great move up into second as Churgwin going for P2, he doesn't get it, and there's Brugman getting brushed out the way again by Richards. That was
dirty.
Very rude, yeah.
It's very dirty.
I did see Richards getting a bit pushy in race 1 as well. He's got to be careful. But again, just like race 1, the battle for the podium really benefiting the leader. Siggy really started to stretch his legs now. By the way, we've had a couple of retirements so far as well. Engel out, Tumala out, and Tyen out as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, Lars Brugman's going to go for a move on Matt Richards this time, down into turn 10. He's going to do it around the outside. He tried with Siggy this time. Last race has done, just gone wide.
And there goes Churgwin through to P2.
Yeah. Again, Matt Richards, I mean, as much as he did have a bit of an overlap, he didn't give any room for Brugman on the exit there, so he's got to be careful of that, because if he pushes him over an anti-cut, that could really bite him in the bum.
And massive moment for Olsen. Out to turn 12 though, I see a lot of guys just really losing their rear ends. It just seems like they've got no rear wing. Churgwin's round! Churgwin is round!
What happened there?
Oh, what was that? I just about caught him. Let's have a look here. He went deep at the chicane, lost it completely
Cameron Brewster's
on his
moving
own.
up to third.
And Cameron Brewster, taking advantage of this, he's moving up into third. What a great move here is all Richards and Brugman's going to try and take the both of them. Great move from Lars Brugman, though. Can he keep it? He's on the inside of turn 3 now. Brewster has to give him room. Great move.
Matt Richards going for the move on Cam.
As here goes Richards up the inside, as you say. But yeah, Churgwin lost it all on his own. What a shame. And he falls out the top 10, unfortunately. As we head now into turn 4, Brewster up the inside of Brugman. Brugman gives him plenty of room.
Going a bit wide on De Vries.
That goes contact between the two Mazurek cars. And thankfully, Olsen comes out of that okay. Sven De Vries not so much at all. Brewster,
Capit getting pushed by. Capit's round. Turn 4.
Capit's round. It's all. Oh no, I hear lots of carnage. And Capit doing the right thing. He's staying put. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen a more open championship round than this one. Kevin Siggy now 3.8.
Lars Brugman's going for the move on David Young.
And here comes Lars Brugman now for P2. Can he do something incredible for Viking Racing? David Yunt.
He's gone wide. David's gone wide.
And Brewster hitting.
Lars has gone through.
As well. And Lars is through into P2. Morten Wernerson will be jumping up and down in joy. Great move from the Netherlands driver. He's been having an epic event so far.
Fran Lopez trying to go for a move on John Monroe, doesn't quite get it done, gets a little bit pushed wide, but Fran is absolutely fighting for it as he cuts that chicane just a little bit. Probably a little bit too much.
Just a little bit. It's
but
all
he's
getting
really
a bit feisty.
It is getting very, very feisty as this race is approaching the halfway mark. This is incredible stuff. 5 laps completed.
Brewster on Richards. It's P4 and 5. Richards goes defensive. We've seen him get very, very, I don't think there's any word for it, dirty in recent. Talk about a magnet for trouble. Here comes Tobias Olsen as well.
A bit of contact there between Tobias. That's a bit wrong. You go for that move, my friend. Olsen hits the back of Cam and Cam goes a little bit wide. I remember once Olsen did that to me and I pushed him onto the grass in TPS.
Yeah.
He's going round.
Off he goes.
That's karma.
And that is karma in effect, and Sven De Vries will move through to P7, so Brewster P5.
Fran Lopez and Churgwin getting into contact behind. If you go back to Tobias, I don't know what's happened to Lopez.
Oh, dearie me, he's down to P16,
Honestly, not a clue what's happened to him.
Monroe up into 6th.
Could Monroe be the championship leader after this?
I have no idea.
Jesper Nielsen to the points.
Yep, Sidonovas 9th, Canapino 10th, Weeks 11th. Yep, Nielsen's 13th, behind Ross McGregor. Churgwin 14th, Menocon 15th. So I think the championship lead, as it stands, is going to be McGregor and Siggy in 2nd. I'm not too sure.
Maybe Monroe's doing a very good job at the moment. I don't think he's quite there with enough
Monroe
points.
was 6th in race 1, so he'd be on 12 points as of currently.
Yeah.
Actually, no, 20.
Something like that.
20, it's 10 points to 6, isn't it?
James Kirk maths.
Quick maths, James.
Quick maths, James. It's back, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
back, yeah.
The
Ziggy
fight
leads.
for the top 5 is calming itself down as John Munro is going to be quite close to the back of Cam, however, not close enough to make a move, I don't think, for
You
the
think?
5th spot. I don't think so. I don't
He
think
might
he's-
have
I
a
think
go.
He's a bit too far back, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I know my
tell
things.
you about a move that is going on though. Canapino through on Sidonovus. P9 and P10 and behind Ross McGregor.
McGregor on weeks, yeah.
On weeks 11 and 12. And look at Jesper Nielsen, no weight. I think he might still have a chance of a top 10 yet, you know.
Quite
And
possibly.
Weeks is missing his front bumper, look. Weeks is missing his front bumper, so the understeer in that car is going to be terminal.
There you
Through
go.
goes Nielsen, easy position. I think he can get a top 10, you know.
I think he can as well, and that'd be a very good comeback drive to have gotten himself some points on the board. Not only that, a top 10. So he'll keep soldiering on. This is why he is the reigning champion of the World Sports Series, because he just tries and just keeps going. Oh, Monroe's round.
Monroe's round! Oh, just when he was having such a good event.
Go
What
have a
does
look at
that mean?
why.
That means that De
He
Vries
just went
is
round
up
by
to
himself.
6th. Oh, and Sid Novus, yep. Sid Novus, he was lucky to hold on to that, wasn't he? He is back on in 12th, though. He will get overtaken by Churquin, I feel, into turn
Oh,
10.
McGregor!
As
McGregor!
McGregor!
McGregor gets- Oh, Nielsen! He's
Oh,
over!
he's over.
Nielsen's rolled!
Oh, my. Oh, I'm sorry for laughing. This is hilariously bad. Nielsen, he can't get any luck going his way. Through goes Olsen as well. Goodness me.
He's got a
And
lot of damage on
Nielsen-
that car as Nielsen.
Nielsen doing some lawn mowing. Nielsen after such a good race as well. Out to the points in P17. No luck going his way at all. So, oh dear, I don't think I've been so amused yet so disappointed by a race before. This is madness, right? Top 5, I think, are pretty much safe. Siggy's now 4.5 ahead of Brugman, who himself is 8/10 as Weeks is out, yeah, 8/10 ahead of Yunt. Richards 4th, Brewster 5th, De Vries up into 6th, Lapassa, he's having a great event, isn't he? Up into P7, Canapino 8, McGregor, P9, not sure for how long though. Sidonovus after all of that back into P10, Churquin 11, Tom Parker now up into the points in 12th, and must be said, Churquin has lost his front bumper as well, so we can expect to probably see him falling down the order as well. Tom Parker looking around the outside of turn 4, and there's Menno Klont as well. Menno Klont looking for a good set of points for a racing team Stroton. Can he get Tom Parker? No, he can't. Churquin going wide. I think Tom Parker should be through here. Yes, he is. That's a nice move there. So Klont 14th, Bell up into 14th for Lusitania.
Yeah.
And Lopez, despite all of that, is in P15 now for Vodbull. And just to count over your retirements now, is Engel, Tumala, Tyen, Van der Sloot, Van der Wouder, all of the Vanders, De Vos as well in there, and Weeks our latest retirement.
Yeah, I saw Mike getting a little bit dirty with Fran at turn 1 and 2, but it's not really surprising.
Right, De Vries.
De Vries then. Oh, Menoklont's gone straight on at 10.
And he lets Mike Bell through, and a host of other people as Olsen almost going round again, and Nielsen so close to the points yet so far, and oh my word. Fran Lopez hitting Klont, almost hit round Bell, and it's...
Pretty dirty.
I think I will say I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
I was laughing earlier. I don't often laugh at races, but it's just been that bad. It's been really poor from a lot of these drivers today.
Yeah, it's the first round of the season. We'll get him to brush it over. Getting told there's a battle for P4.
Oh yeah, oh goodness me, yeah, Richards, what on earth was he doing? Did he go slow on turn 1 on purpose? Oh no, let's have a look. So Brewster was on the outside, Richards went very deep, and I think Sven De Vries was just caught out a bit by Brewster cutting across. So I don't think there was anything that could be done there, but De Vries has obviously lost a lot of time to the back of Brewster, but I think Richards has used up his tyres a lot, and Brewster could be looking at a podium again. It's lap 9 of 14.
Yeah, but it's don't forget, if Brewster gets past Matt here, he's got to go after David Junt as well. But Richards, he's one of those drivers who drives very, very aggressively, and in these cars you can overheat your tyres, especially at tracks such as this. So it's very possible that he's overcooked his tyres, overworked them a little bit, and Cam is trying to take advantage of that.
Here indeed, and all getting Capsana, or Campasa I should say, very wrong, is Richards. Brewster looking to the outside of Vakaixa. This is the sector where Richards is at his criminal best, unfortunately, for this round. Brewster trying to get the cut back. Inside of turn 11. Can't get anything done. keeps it clean through 12. But De Vries is going to be right on the back of these very soon. And look at Lapasa there as well. Lapasa could be in for yet more points for Drake Racing in what has been an extremely impressive event so far. And if you want to give a driver of the day, let alone the race, to anybody, I think I'd probably give it to him.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. Obviously, I had an incident with this guy back in Formula Challenge, but I'm well impressed with how he's been acting today. He's done a fantastic job to have the car in the positions that it's in. So, he's doing a very, very good job out there for Drake.
Hey, look at this, Jesper Nielsen, P16, could still score a point. He's on the back of Tobias Olsen, who's had it's been a tale of two races, hasn't it? A very impressive and solid race one. Race 2 that's a bit all over the place. A little bit of contact between him and Nielsen. And here comes the Adonis now, Sandeep Choda. I don't think Choda was expecting to be scoring anything on his debut, but here he is behind, 2 cars behind the point scoring position. He'll be very chuffed, I imagine, if he scores something.
Yeah, he's been struggling for YTF1 just to get used to this car, and he's not quite there yet, but he's proven that at some point for YTF1 he might put some points on the board.
Points on the board.
Points on the
score.
score.
On the points, yeah.
Yes.
Remember as well, Churgwin is missing a front bumper as Nielsen on the outside of Olsen.
Sandeep's gone wide.
Sandeep's gone wide, yeah. So I think, and a bit of contact between Olsen and Nielsen there. Clonked through on Choda, unfortunately. But meanwhile...
Risto Capit's right behind him as well. Oh, Risto Capit's gone into the back of Choda.
Lovely.
Calm down, Risto.
Yeah. As I say, it's all been a bit... But hey, let's go back to the battle for P4, shall we? Got a 4-way train. We've got Richards, we've got Brewster and De Vries and Lapasa, as expected, have caught onto the back of these two now. Junt hasn't really escaped them that much yet. He has enough of a gap to not really worry too much. I imagine we'll be seeing De Vries and Lapasa trying everything to get past these two, who I fear are slower drivers than the two behind them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw De Vries running an illegal line out of the final chicane, just going over onto the AstroTurf, which as long as you keep 2 wheels on the curb, on the red and white bit, you're okay, but that AstroTurf does not count as a curb, so you have to keep at least 2 wheels on that red and white bit. So he's got to be very careful of continuing doing that, because he could get a penalty.
Yeah. Going around turn 3
Cam
now.
is really pushing to get up into 4th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's turned one a number of times this race so far. What's happened to Lapasa? Oh, I think Lapasa just lost it, actually. As you had another couple of retirements from this race. Who's retired now? Goodness me, the list gets longer. Frančić, Wernerson and Silva. So that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 retirements. As Brewster looks around the outside of Richards, can't do anything. And yeah, Richards very much the cork in the bottle. And from what we've seen from him in this round, I think it might take a little bit of contact to get him out of the way, unfortunately.
They do look like they are catching Junt, as we've just been pointed out by cameraman Ben, who is stepping into the cameras this round, did a very good job of it. And yeah, they do seem to be catching the back of David Junt just a little bit. Not much, maybe not enough.
De Vries around the outside of Brewster. He's still there, isn't he?
Bit dodgy by Cam. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah. I must say, having had a number of drivers' thoughts from this race, it must be said that Richards and Brewster didn't have the most glowing of reviews in race 1 from a number of people. So I think they have to be careful. You want to. I think the main thing is, like with Nielsen, for example, his own fate was out of his hands. We know he will bounce back. We just know it. But when you're in such a good position for this, like with Richards there in P4 for Cosmo, like with Brewster there in P5 for Walk, you want to have a good start to your championship. And if you end up getting penalties at the end of the day, then, it just leaves a bit of a marring on the whole round, doesn't it?
I just think there's a fair group of drivers, probably 10 big, that need to go for an eye exam after this, because they're clearly not looking.
I think
it's been pretty poor.
Lewis Redshaw will be championing the fairest of drivers, I'm sure.
Fair driver award, yeah.
The fair driver award. We should introduce that at the end of the year if it continues like this, to be honest. As Brewster on the inside of Richards now.
Sven de Vries going around the outside.
Sven de Vries around the outside. Oh, Sven
What
de
a
Vries.
move. What a move.
Lovely. Thank you for giving us a bit of quality in this race, Sven. Thank you. He's up into P5, and I reckon if he continues driving like that, he should hopefully be into P4 soon enough. And yeah, camera's again very loose.
It was Matt, actually. I apologise for saying Cam.
Sorry, no.
It's just because I'm used to seeing a Cosmo, and putting the two and two together as being Cam. But yeah, it's a big sideways moment for Matt Richards over the curbing at turn 7 and 8. But Sven now
goes wide.
Yeah.
Cam on the cutback. Don't think he's going to do much though. No. Yeah, Sven has to get past Richards quickly. And look at Lapasa there, and ever present. I think he still could in with a chance of a top 5 here if he's lucky.
Quite possibly. He's keeping on to the back of this. I don't think... I know Sven's not the biggest fan of Richards' driving. So...
He's not a fan of many people's driving.
No, he's not. He will actually be able to get a move going... Matt Richards! That was wrong. That was wrong. That was very dirty.
And here comes Cameron Brewster now. And Sven de Vries, I know that he's been very angry at Tom Parker in Superfocus. Oh, goodness me, I think Sven de Vries had every
get that one stopped. You go, son. Jesus.
Wow. How did he get that? I think he's going to get mugged here, though. Yep, Richards back around the outside. But Sven de Vries showing that he can get his elbows out as well. I'm loving this now. By the way, Ice Cold watch. Nielsen's ahead of Monroe in 14th and 15th. Double point score for Ice Cold. Win-win.
Richards, he's got to be very careful because that move down the straight was really dirty. Really dirty.
He just turned in on him.
Cam's having a dive bomb.
Oh,
careful.
Goodness sake. Like, give the guy some room.
Here, careful, Cam.
I'm getting angry at drivers who I'm not even involved with. God. Give Sven de Vries some room. He's there on the inside. If I was in that position, I would be absolutely livid. Sven de Vries going very wide. He takes Campana incredibly wrong. And now Brewster's going to be on the outside of the American, heading into turn 10. Oh, Sven! And he's round.
Yeah. Well, there goes the quality.
There goes the quality.
Ross McGregor.
Actually, no, we've got the passer.
Ross McGregor moving up into 8th.
But he might get a penalty himself.
We'll have to see, but either way, this has not been a good round to start the 2015 season.
All I would say to our viewers at home is don't take the final results here with a pinch of salt. They are not going to be the final results.
No, I reckon this will change around quite a bit.
I think, yeah, fair play from Ben Hackerson. I don't like to shout my own drivers out, but Kevin Siggy, he's done a lovely job up there in P1. He had...
Lapasa! Spun Brewster. Way.
Lovely. So the guy who was my driver of the day spun Brewster. Again,
this is a bad round for WSS.
It's the final lap. Don't worry. We're near the end, guys. Don't worry.
My word, what an appalling round for people's driving standards. It's been god-awful.
Wow. No, Siggy's not. Siggy's in there. He's P1. He's fine. Sorry, Ben was just worried. Has Siggy gone? I think that would have just topped the evening if Kevin Siggy
I wouldn't be surprised. It'd just be like, it's just another thing. Oh my.
Should we just look at Siggy? I don't want to look at this rubbish driving anymore.
Yeah.
Let's give plaudits to Siggy, Brugman and Yunt, shall we? They've had a great battle at the front. Siggy got through the two of them. Brugman had some excellent moves as well. Yunt's been nice and clean. He held off a lovely train. And these top three, I think, absolutely deserves the positions they've come away with in this race. I know there was a slight problem with Siggy and Lopez at the start, but from what we could see, it was a racing incident and just unfortunate for Fran. He's still there in the points, though. Either way, we're sorry to everyone at home. We can be absolutely sure that if you are disgusted with that driving, you are in good company. Kevin Siggy comes home to take Enterprise GP's first win in WSS. Yeah, after Harley having some exclusions. Yep, first win in WSS.
His first win as well.
Great, GG. Lars Brugman, P2, great result for him and Viking. David Junt, P3 for THR, showing what he can do in the reverse grids. Matt Richards, P4 for how long? Might be less than 48 hours. Martin Lapasa, P5 for how long? Don't know. Augustin Canapino might end up getting P4, I reckon. Ross McGregor, P7th. De Vries, 8. Brewster, 9. Parker, 10. I think Parker's going to gain the loads positions as well. Lopez, 11. Bell, 12th. Olsen, 13th. Monroe, 14th. And Nielsen does score a point, thankfully. Though that stupidity at the end will probably get him a post-race penalty for post-race conduct, actually. So your retirements, to go through all a million of them: Florian Engel, Mikel Tumala, Jarl Tyen, Sherwin van der Sloot, Van der Wilder, De Vos, Weeks, Francic, Wernerson, Silver, and oh yes, Novus. He was doing really well, wasn't he? He also retired. I don't think I've been more disappointed in an evening of racing.
We've done a lot of commentary together.
We have. We've done over 2 years.
It's not over 2 years.
Oh no, 2 years?
It's 2 years later on this year.
Yeah.
The years we've done commentary, we've done a lot of races, a lot of different races, a lot of pretty dirty races.
Yeah.
But that round tops it all. That was one of the worst rounds I have ever seen in my entire sim racing career. That was appalling. People should be ashamed of themselves.
I always champion WSS as the cleanest form of tin top racing you can do at GPVWC, and I champion it as such a close championship. 2014 was wonderful, but this was worse than a round of one of the worst rounds of ITC. It was honestly disgusting, the driving which was seen on there today. And as I say, to all of you at home, we apologise that the final results will probably change that much. But, if people do the right thing and report the drivers, that's just going to be the case. So, who's in the lead of the championship? I genuinely don't know. Who's in the lead of the team's championship? I genuinely don't know. I think temporarily it's THR, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be THR.
It should be THR because McGregor didn't do anything wrong in race 1. Yunt's got a podium in race 2, so that should put them safely in P1. But nevertheless, I think anybody who knows my commentary and who has followed me in, whatever series I have been in, they know that when I get angry at drivers as a commentator, when I'm actually commentating on something, there is something seriously wrong. And I think to address the entire field who, I'm hoping that a lot of them will be watching this broadcast back on YouTube, clean up your act, because, that was not on. That was absolutely not on.
Indeed, I suppose it's best to move on from this, take a deep breath, and get to some interviews.
Yeah, let's get some people in, shall we? Okay, right. Let's bring them in. Yeah, why not? I think let's start with John Munro, shall we? I know you didn't have a podium this event, but for you, as a reserve driver, I think it's fair to say that you can be quite happy with what you did. A double point score for your team, obviously P6 in race 1. Not the result you might have wanted in race 2. I think was it a mistake from you in race 2 that saw you down the grid? But points on the board for Ice Cold. It's a good thing considering the event that we saw today.
Yeah, I had a really good time. To be honest, it was first time out in the Porsches, and went a lot better than expected. I'm used to kind of commentating on Porsches and other leagues and stuff, but to actually race them was great fun. Solid result in race 1. Got my 6th place. Couldn't quite get the 5th from Martin at the end there, but race 2, I'm just really frustrated, to be honest. I was running up in 5th, I think, behind Matt and Cameron, and completely my mistake. Just lost the back end. A really pathetic little spin, but put me back to 23rd. And although I managed to get up to 14th again, it's just really frustrating. Given that I'm not a permanent driver in the series, I could have been right up there in the championship. So yeah, disappointed, but at the same time, I've had a great evening. So
believe me, I think a spin on your own from you is probably one of the least pathetic things we have seen on this evening. Believe me. Surely though, seeing the potential of what you could do, and I know that you're the reserve with Ice Cold, but surely there's an urge to want to try and find a primary drive with another team. Because as you said, you could have been high up in the championship if you'd gotten the result you'd wanted in race 2, and surely that makes you think, I could do pretty well here.
Yeah, definitely. It's given me some motivation to race the series. I was never really considering the Porsches and stuff, but a couple of solid results, yeah, definitely. Ice Cold was always just going to be a one-off with this one because Eric's got the seat, and it was just a last-minute call-up because he wasn't going to be available. So I was only happy to race for my old team again. But the potential's there definitely for some occasional drives throughout the season, and maybe have a shot at the full campaign next year. But I'm kind of focusing at the moment on a potential season of ICT and some other leagues and stuff like that, as well as the real-life racing. So I had great fun, and I'm sure I'd be willing to do more races in the future.
Fantastic. We'll wait to see you later in the year and next year then. Thank you for joining us, John.
Thanks very much, James.
And before we move on to our next interview, just to address a couple of tweets. Thomas Jacobs was, he quoted me saying, "May take contact to get him out the way. Are you promoting contact, or what goes around comes around?" Very much the second of those. I think myself and Lewis talked a lot about karma in the races, and it almost seems like contact was going to be inevitable if you wanted to get past certain drivers. I would never promote contact. Neither would Lewis. Neither would anybody at the league. I think everyone agrees it was terrible, and that's why I say, that's why I was so critical of this round as a whole. Just to clear that up. But now we move to Kevin Siggy. Right, Kevin. Interesting event for you, wasn't it? Not a great start in race one. Found yourself mired down in the field down in P14, but then the reverse grid went your way, and you've just taken Enterprise GP's first win in the World Sports Series. So overall, surely there's got to be great positives and a happy feeling coming out from this event.
Oh, definitely positive from the race too, but race one was a bit sluggish for me. I got to a good start, but then people were hitting me left, right, and on the rear, and I had damage, lots of damage. Then I went and fought with Cameron, who was a little bit aggressive, but okay. We'll see it in the replays. For race 2, I was extremely lucky to get a good get-off. Then went around Brewster and around some people like John and Lopez. Unfortunately for Lopez, that spun. But okay, basically it's a decent finish for me. Yeah, P1, of course, for the race 2, but for the race 1, it was a little bit critical, and I was really frustrated after that race. But overall, I'm very happy with race 2 and all that I did today.
Enough's been said of the standards from this evening, but perhaps we could get your view on that Lopez incident, because that was very much the big move, if you will. Lopez did very well to hang on around the outside of you. Lewis, on his first impressions, thought it was a racing incident. Is that very much how you viewed it? I'd just like to see what your view was from the cockpit of your flat six, of course.
Oh, well, in the cockpit you can't say it like it's a racing incident. I don't know. Well, to be honest, I was really surprised that my rears locked up because I never got that lock up before in that corner, so I was very surprised by that. And unfortunately, I did hit him, but I don't know. Well, I did slide into him, but I think he did turn a little bit too early. But I don't know. Maybe it's a racing incident. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's his fault. I don't know. I'll keep it. I don't know. I'm definitely not saying it's his fault, and I don't know. I just basically don't know. We'll see it what the race director said.
Right, yeah, well, anyway, thank you for joining us, Kevin.
Thank you.
And finally, we have David Junt. So, poor qualifying, you got a point in race 1, and then you came back in race 2 to get a podium. Definitely one of the cleanest drivers from the field today, and surely to get 2-point scores on the board, up there in the top 10 for sure, got to be happy with yourself.
I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. Maybe I don't like Barcelona and the Porsche that much, or the flat six, but I just didn't get any good run into it. I practiced too much with a bit of greasy, wet conditions, and then in the dry, I just didn't get a feel for the track. I messed up turn 1. I messed up the last bit. It just didn't come together, and I was constantly some tenths off the pace, and that showed in my quali attempt, which then even ended outside the top 20, which is for my standards, even that is really, really bad. Race 1 was a matter of trying not to hit anybody. I've went straight at the hairpin since I probably braked too late, and people moving back to the outside inside line, so I went cautious and went straight, which cost me several positions. In the end, I'm probably quite lucky to have scored that P15 point. Second race, the start was quite good, much better than the first start. I managed to hold on, but Kevin was just too good to keep behind. So I went by, I was trying to follow him, then front tapped him and went off, so I had second, but couldn't relax at all. people were so close behind me, and I just tried not to get into an accident with somebody. But in the end, Matthew Chagrin passed me, and then I tried to enter the last chicane and just saw that somebody moved, and Matt Richards was in the inside, and in the end, well, I had to open the steering, went straight, was looking for Matthew to appear on the left side, and then I saw that he spun, and I was like confused. So what I'm gonna do now? Just keep going, or I tried to move off the accelerator and let him come close again, but I was not sure what to do, so I just kept staying just about in front of them, and in the end, Lars got me when I still couldn't find my pace. In the end, I managed to get into a rhythm, but it was nowhere, to be honest, where I usually was in last season. So I'm lucky with third, and I hope it stays like that, because I'm not sure about that chicane cut, but I don't think I've went too wrong there. So I should be happy with third.
I think, to be fair, I remember that, and I think you're in right. I think you had to avoid an incident. That's what you did. So thank you for joining us, David, and well done on your results today.
Thank you.
So, I think the less said about today, the better, to be honest. Let's focus on Portimao in 2 weeks' time, shall we? A very different circuit to Catalonia, a lot more slower corners and a lot more elevation on there as well.
Yeah, it's not a track that I'll be very good at, I don't think, just from the way it is. But I do hope that the rubbish we have seen today is just a first round thing. You know, we're back after a break. Hopefully it stops. We'll take a deep breath. We'll go to Portimao, and we'll have some hopefully some good racing, and WSS will be back on track. It's a great venue for us to go to, so we'll keep an eye out for that one.
If you'd like to see some Formula racing next week, then please be sure to check in on the Tuesday for Open Series and Formula Challenge, Wednesday for the Super Cup, and Thursday for the Super League as they take their turn around the Circuit de Catalunya. It should be an exciting 4 race events of fun. And then please try not to be put off by what you've seen here today, and join us again 2 weeks on Wednesday when we head to Portimao for the second round of the World Tour Series. I'd like to say these final moments to thank our cameraman for tonight, Ben Hackerson. He got us through a couple of issues with the cameras and the sounds and everything. So thank you for your ever-present presence. I'd like to thank Lewis McGlade for sticking it through me. God, don't know if you need to kill me or anything. Gotta be careful, yeah. For sticking with me through it. That's the right order of words I wanted. I've been James Kirk, and from all of us here, it's a very warm goodbye.